Hello, hello everyone. Good morning. Hope all of you guys had a wonderful evening yesterday, or a good day if it's nighttime. It could be nighttime. All right, we're gonna finish this sparrow, and then we're going to try sparrow number 2. All right, so we need to do little bird's tail. I need to pull up my picture again. Where's my picture? Oh, my picture disappeared. Okay, that's fine. Let's see here. Images. I get an image of... There's a good one. Okay, so it's mainly... Okay, light brown with a little bit of medium brown along the edges. Okay, that's pretty simple. So, I'm only going to need 2 colors for this tail. We're going to need this one and this one. Alrighty, and I'm going to start with, I think, dark brown. Wait, where am I? Yes, I'm going to start with the medium brown. Alright, I need to get this back to where I could actually see stuff again, because I can't see stuff. Alright, what's up, Rice Cake? What you doing, sweet man? You having a good time? You having a good time, buddy? Alright, we're gonna go 1 stitch here. Hi, Bubs. I hear ya. Alright, we're gonna do 1 stitch. 2 stitch. And 3 stitch. And then we're gonna swap to the tan, or the light brown. What is crawling on me? Feels like something's crawling on me. Nope, nothing's crawling on me. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, why is it like so? Okay, what is... Okay. Nope, that's the bee sting. I don't know what. I don't know what it is, Rice Cake. Felt like something was crawling on me. Oh, you're right where I need to put my foot. Can I put my foot down, buddy? He's like, nope, this is my head scratcher. Hi, buddy. Can I move my foot? He's been like a little bit swatty recently. Like, he doesn't like it when I walk past him. And I'm like, buddy? Like the other day, he wanted pets, so I went over to pet him, and then he just swatted at my hand. And I was like, okay. So I don't know what's going on. If he's just being itchy. I'm wondering if he might have allergies, and that's why he's got all sorts of ear and stuff going on. Hi, you're poking me. Yeah, you can poke me, but I can't pet you. Yeah, you don't want pets. I mean, you want pets, but you don't want pets. And I'm like, like he's saying he wants pets, but then he doesn't want pets. And it's like, okay, sir. Sure. So I've just been letting him rub up against me, and I've just been letting him do that. And we're just seeing what happens. Because I don't want to be scratched. That would be preferable if we could avoid that. It would be nice. Alright, we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna do this stitch, and then we're gonna go back to the tan, or the light brown. I'm just gonna get that one out of the way. Light brown. Alrighty, and then I need to get 2 stitches in here, so whoops. I think there's only space for 1, but we're gonna make there be space for 2. So that's 1, whoops, and 2. Okay. We're actually going to do one more right here. We're going to do one tan there. And then we're going to swap over. Oh dear, that's on the wrong side. Grim. Okay, we're going to backtrack here a little bit. We're going to get the brown to go on the right side so that it will be hidden. And now we could finish that stitch. And now we can go into this stitch and do that one. There we go. And now we could swap over to the brown again. Alrighty. And then we're going to do an increase in this one. And we're going to do an increase in this second one. Okay, and now we're going to swap back over to the... Oh, I made the tan go on the wrong side this time. Arg. Arg, arg, arg. Okay, we're going to make the tan go up and over, so that will be hidden. Go back into this thing. Now we're going to finish our increased stitches. So that was the increase, and that was an increase. Okay, now I need to have the dark brown hide and the light brown come forward. We're not doing any increases in these middle ones. We're just going to do one more tan there. Then we're going to swap these. Going to go back to the darker and do an increase. And start with one, and then we're going to swap back to the tan. Or then we're going to finish the increase in this one with a tan. There we go. Okay, so we should still end up with 3 brown stitches on each of those ends, which I think I did. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure we hide that this time. Okay, and we're going to do a increase. 2. And I think yeah, I want to do one more brown stitch here, swap back to the tan, and then we'll keep going around. Okay, I can make that tail right inside of there now. There should be enough space to hide that. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There. We're going to do... Yeah, I'm going to do one more tan here, and then we're going to swap to the darker. We're going to do the increase, and then we're going to do one tan, or one more dark. There we go. Okay, and now, yeah, now we're going to finish this off. So I'm pretty much just going to be making these stitches. Oh, I think I wanted that one to actually be a double crochet. Double crochet. All right, and now we're going to do treble, 2 and 3. like that. And then now we're just going to do 2 right like that. There's that one. Okay. And then I'm going to swap to, actually, I want to do a single here. Single. Okay. And I need to actually swap over to the light brown. Light brown. All right. Now we can do a double with the light brown. Double with the light brown. Now we can do a treble with the light brown. 1 and 2. And we'll go into that one again. 2, 3. And I'm actually going to do 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a slip stitch and a single stitch. And then we're going to go back down. Whoops. Come on, yarn. Yarn, yarn, yarn. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go into this stitch now. And 2. Okay. Now we just need to get 2 of these, I think. 1, 2. And then we'll go here. 2, 3. Nope, I think that needed to be 1 less. So we're actually just going to do that. Nope. All right, I only need 1 on this side, apparently. Whoops, okay, there's, yeah, there's that. Okay, that's better. And now we just do a single stitch. Where am I going to go into? I think I go into here. Yeah, we're going to do a single stitch. Okay, except I need to finish this with the darker brown. Okay, and now we're going to do a, I need to get that tied off. One of those. We're going to do one of these. Okay, I think I want to do 1 more of those. We're going to get 1, 2, then we'll go here. 3. Okay, now I just want to do a 1. And now I just do a single stitch. There we go. Okay, and now we're just going to do a slip. Slip stitch, and I'm going to do a couple of chains to tie this off. There we go. Snip a clip, and there. Okay, now I need to tie this off. Let's see, should be able to just go something like this. 1 chain, 2 chains, and snip that. There we go. Okay. All right, now we can just hide. Okay, that one was definitely bigger than the other side, but that's okay. It is okay. All right, now I just need to hide this. I think it'll go right there. And then I can take this one, hide that one. Oh, come on, hide. Why aren't you coming? What did I grab? Oh, I grabbed that thing. I don't want to grab that thing. There we go. Okay. Right like that. Let's keep those fluffs in there. I think pull this right like that, and that should make it want to go this way. So I can then pull it into here. What else did I grab? Grabbed something else here. All right, and then I can pull this right down there. There we go. Alrighty, and now we have our little tail. Little tail. Okay. Probably was a little bit bigger than what it needed to be, but that's okay. And there's the little bird. Okay, why do you have your little brown fluffy thing right there? There we go. Make that go away. All right. Well, I think we learned things. At least I learned things. Yeah. Now we're gonna try to make it better. Why do you have a little fuzzy thing? Okay. All right. All right. Little wings. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so what do I need to start with? I need to start with... Do I start with brown or do I start with white? I think I started with white. And then I added the dark brown. I think what I might do, instead of doing the gray across the back, I think I'm gonna do the light brown across the back. And then we'll just keep the front as the white. I want to see what that looks like. Okay. Let's see here. We got enough beans again. Oh, we got beans and pumpkin. I swapped it to this cat tree because that's where they were hanging out at right before I started. Like, nobody was on their usual one. And I was like, okay, well, we'll just put it over to this one. And yeah. I think they really like the ones that they could, like, curl up. And, like, there's that little edge on it. Like, they just like snuggling up in tiny spaces. It's so funny. They're very funny. Okay, so we're gonna start with 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna go here. And we're gonna do 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now we're gonna do 1 white stitch here. Yeah, we're gonna do 1 white stitch here, and then we're gonna swap to the, what do I have? Dark brown? Dark brown. Or medium brown, not dark brown, medium brown. Medium brown. Okay, and I need to make sure that this white is on this side. I need to make sure that the tail is on this side. Okay, and I need this one to be an increase. So we're going to go into this same stitch to do the increase. Okay, and now I need to go into this stitch. We're going to do another increase. Pretty much all 6 of these stitches are going to be increased, I think. I think that's how it works. And we're going to go here. I'm going to do another increase. Okay, and we're going to start with a brown in this one. but now, wait, do I? Nope, I need that one to be the white. Need that one to be the white. I'm gonna do white right here. Okay, and now I swap back to the brown again. And I need to do an increase. Okay, and now we can do increases for these two as well. Are these three? Maybe these three. Yeah, wait. Nope, that's the next one. Okay. All right. Now I need to do, I actually need to swap back to the white here. Swap back to the white. And gonna do single white stitch. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, single white stitch. I'm gonna swap back to the brown. And where's my brown stitch? Here's my brown stitch. I'm actually thinking, yeah. Okay. So I need to do an increase over here, then a single, 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 maybe one more increase over here, something like that. Okay. And now we're going to swap to the white again. Lots of swapping. And this is pretty much just so that I can get that stripe of white to go down the very middle of the bird. Okay, once I get to the front, I'm actually going to do something different. Okay. So we're going to do, I think I need to do an increase on this side as well. So I should have the same number of brown stitches on both sides. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I need one more increase on this other side. There we go. Okay, and actually, now that I'm on this side, I need to swap back to the white. And we're gonna do a couple extra whites here. And actually, I need this to kind of pop out a little bit so that I can hide it inside of here. Just like that. Okay, and I don't think I need to do any more increases. So now we're going to pull that over there. I just want to have one singular brown stitch here, and then we're going to swap back to the white again. Okay, so I'm in that stitch. White, white. Okay, what did I do back here? Okay. So for this last brown stitch, we're actually going to swap back to the brown again. And we're going to do one little brown stitch here. And then we're going to swap back to the white again. Do this white stitch and then swap back to the brown. Do a brown stitch and then we'll swap right back to the white again. I don't like that. I want that to go right there. brown stitch and swap to white. And then we're going to do these white stitches all the way around to the front. Except for this last one here, which is going to be a brown stitch. Yes, this one's going to be a brown stitch. Okay, and brown. And then we're going back to the white again. Lots of swapping. Lots of swapping. I mean, they have like really cool like stripes and like it's intricate on their head. Their head is quite intricate. Okay, and now we're going to swap back to the brown again. And I need to do brown all the way back. Okay. Alrighty, brown all the way. And we're going to connect it to that single brown stitch on the back. So we go all the way to this brown stitch and then we swap to the white again. There we go. And then we go back to the brown. We do brown stitches all the way to that first brown stitch. We're pretty much just making little stripy things. Lots of little stripy things. Lots of stripy things. All right, and now we're gonna swap to the white again. Okay, and this time we get to do some more white stripes. So we're gonna go pretty much all the way around with these white, and white. And I actually am going to need to do a slight decrease somewhere. Let's actually do that here, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now I need to swap back to the dark brown. Oh, and we have an ad. Okay. Dark brown, we're going to do our dark brown here. We're going to, actually, no, I want to swap to the light brown. I want to add in the light brown here. Okay. All right, there's that one. We'll make that tail go in there. Now we can do these 3 stitches with the light brown. And then we're going to swap back to the white. I'm in that stitch and I need to do another decrease on this side. Okay. Alrighty. And so now that should be the head of the bird. And that'll be good. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay. And once we get across, we're going to start doing some increases. Actually, I need to do a single increase here in the front. And then we do 2 increases in the back. Yee, that's what I do. Okay. Single increase there. And I'm also going to... Okay, we're going to swap to the light brown again. going to go here. We're actually going to do an increase right here. And then we'll go all the way across. And then we'll do another increase on this side. And increase. And then we're going to swap to the white. And I need to start adding in those little dark brown stripey things. Okay, we're going to do... We're going to add one right here. We're going to finish with the brown. And then we add one little brown thing there. And we're going to swap back to the white. Because these little stripes, they're vertical stripes. So I have to do it where I do one dark brown stitch on top of the next. So each row I will add a little brown stitch on top of another brown stitch. And I'm only going to have those be like 2 rows high. And then, let's see, actually, I need to add a couple more of these. We did not add enough. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have one more here. So one right here. And then, did I do an increase? Did not do an increase. Okay, we'll do an increase here then. And then, so that's 2, and then that's 3. So we'll add in one more here. Okay, and then do white. Okay, and now we go back to the tan. I think I can make it so that this little tan, yeah, I'll have that little thing hidden away. There's a little knot in the yarn, and I'm going to make it so that it's inside of project, so you can't see it. Okay, and I need to do an increase there. And then we'll just go around that little knot so that that will stay hidden. Okay, and then we'll do another increase. Actually, I want to do the increase here. There we go. And then we have one more stitch here. And then we're going to swap to the white. Okay, and I need the brown. I'm actually just going to make the brown go around like this, because that's getting all sorts of tangled up. Okay. And then what about this brown? This brown, I'm just going to pull that in there. Okay, white. I need to make sure that this white stays. I'm trying to get it so that I can keep these like inside pieces somewhat contained or controlled so that they aren't going to pull the project in weird directions. All right, so this was one of those little stitches. Okay. We're going to swap to the white. We're going to do one white stitch, and then we're going to do another brown one as the increase. Actually, I'm going to put it here. And then we're going to swap back to the white, and we'll do the increase there. Okay, and then we'll swap back to the brown again so that we can do this little one. That one, okay. And then we swap to the white. Whoops. There we go. We do one white stitch, we swap to the brown. I'm trying to get it so that these are kind of layered in here as well, so that they all don't just like start and stop on the same rows. I want them to be starting and some stopping every single row pretty much. So I tried to plan that out last row. And we're going to see how well this works. Because I don't know how well it's going to work. I did not really hide. Okay, well, I can do one more hiding thing over here. That'll be fine. One more little hidey thing. Here we go. Okay, this is on the right side. Yeah, that's on the right side. So now we go to the tan. I'm going to do an increase here. And an increase, whoops, here. Okay, why is this? I feel like this is so far away and it's not getting my hands. Maybe I'm really far away. Maybe that's what half the problem is. Maybe if I'm closer, my hands won't try to go so far away. Okay, wait, did I do another increase? Yes, I did. Okay, we're good. We gotta do here, and then here. Alrighty, and now we're going to, what needs to happen here? I think these need to go over top of that. And yeah, that'll be fine. We're just gonna make that go there, make those go there. I'm gonna finish this off with the white. We can make the brown go off to the side. Okay, so we can kind of see here that this brown stripe is 2 rows tall, so we're going to put a white stitch on that one. This one is only 1 row so far, so we'll put another brown one there. This one is 2, so we'll put a white there. This one is 1, so 1 more needs there, and that one is 2, so we only need a white to finish that one off. However, I'm thinking we need to add some dark brown. Where's my Song Sparrow? Yes. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of dark brown on this row. Not quite yet, but we are going to add a little bit of dark brown. Okay, so we need to do a little bit of white on this one. White there. And then we swap to the brown. Oh, I need to make sure that I hide the white. Okay. And actually right at those ones. Okay. Where'd my white go? Here's my white. I need to make sure that I hide this white. What did I do? That's not what I'm supposed to do. Need to do that, and then I'm in the brown stitch, so I need to go, whoop, I need to hide the white. White and white. Okay, and now we're going to add the dark brown. Oh, where'd my thing go? Okay, there's that and there's that. All right, now we're adding some dark brown. dark brown. We're only gonna add a little bit of dark brown. It's gonna be like 2 stitches maybe. Dark brown. Alright, we're gonna add a little bit of dark right there. And a little bit of dark right there. I did not do an increase this row. What is that one? That one is finished. That one. I'm confused. Is that just one row? That is just one row. I think. It kind of looks like 2 rows. No, that's one row. Okay. We're gonna do this one as the increase. We're gonna go over to the medium brown again. And we're going to finish off this little one with that. And then we're going to go back to the white. Oh, crim. I did not do the white right. That's okay. I'm going to fix it. I'm fixing it. I want it to be right. I don't want it to be wrong. Okay. And make that go there. Those. Now we'll finish this with the brown. And we go into this white stitch twice, so we get that increase. Come on, yarn. There we go. So we get that increase. Then we swap to the medium brown. And we can finish this little stripey with that. And then we'll go back to the white. And we do the white, and I think, yeah, we finish this one with white. I need to make sure I hide that one as well there. Okay. And there's that one. Okay. Now, oh my goodness, my yarn. So much yarn. Okay. I'm swapping to medium or light brown. Light brown. Light brown, and we're just going to go all the way around with the light brown. I need to make sure I do my 2 increases. Gonna do 1 increase here. And 1 increase somewhere over here. I think we'll do it right here. That'll be good. There's that one. Okay, now we're going to swap to the white. Okay, where can I put some of these? So we're going to put one right there. I want 1 white stitch, and then, oh my goodness, this yarn. There's so much yarn. It's all over the place. I might need to detangle some of this yarn here shortly because it is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Okay, I want the white to kind of hide there a little bit. We're gonna do a brown stitch there. Then we're gonna go back to the white. And we're gonna hide that there. That one, and this one should be, yeah, this one should be finishing up. So then we're going to do a medium brown here. Oh, I'm not hiding the white yarn. Oh, well. That's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. We're doing medium here, and then we're going to swap to the dark brown again. And we're going to do an increase here again to make this be 3 stitches of dark brown. Okay, and that one needs to be finished now, so we're going to go back to the white. Finish that off with the white. Where is this white yarn that I need to hide? Here it is. Okay. Pull that. Go there, and then we're gonna do another dark brown right over here. Right there. Okay, and then we're gonna finish off with 1 white stitch. Okay, we're gonna detangle this stuff here real quick because oh my goodness. Oh, I'm throwing needles. That's fine. Okay, dark brown is safe. Let's do the medium brown next, I think. Okay, so we could go under the white, through the white and light brown, and then through here, and under here, and then we'll just go around the white. There we go. Okay. Medium brown is clear. And then we just have the white and tan, which are pretty much fine. Okay. That's good. I can actually fix that right now. There we go. White and light brown are detangled. Cool. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Very perfect. Okay. All right, now we're just going to go around with the tan again. And we're going to do an increase right here. And we'll do another increase. Actually, I think right here. Whoops. Right here should work. Perfect. There we go. Okay, and oh, I need to check my shifting. Yes, 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 we do need to do a shift. Okay. Oh, we are overdue for a shift. All right. So shifting is basically where the stitches start. I feel like I explain this often. But shifting is basically where the stitches stop lining up with each other. So they used to be more symmetrical. So like I want this tan line to end in the same spot as the other side. So if I use my dark brown spot as like a symmetry point, because that should be the very front of the bird. And if I look, I could see that it's kind of, it matches up with where I want the face to be as well. So like this should be where the beak is, and then this is the front of the bird. So if I look at where my colors are changing, we could see that this tan is much further to the front than this side. So I need to, I'm just going to go one tan stitch further. I wonder if doing that would actually be better. And then I did hide that one, right? I did. Yeah, I hid that one. Did I hide that one? No, I did not hide that one at all. We're gonna go back. We're gonna fix that. I need to hide that yarn. Otherwise, it's going to pull this whole project and it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible. And I don't want it to be terrible. Alrighty. I'm going to do an increase here. Do an increase here. I can hear a robin. There's a robin outside. Oh my goodness. Robins are such cool birds. They're very cool birds. Maybe we'll do a robin next. That would be fun. Alright, so I'm going to do one tan stitch into where I usually would do the white. And that's going to make the tan row go one further. And then when I get to the other side, I'm going to do a white stitch one further than where I usually would have stopped. So that it ends up being that they kind of even out a little bit. So we're going to finish that one. And then we're going to swap over to the white. Now we get to see where we want to add some more of these little brown stripies. I could add a brown stripe there, and then we could finish that one. Okay, let's do that. Let's do one more brown stripe. Where'd my brown go? Here's my brown. I'm gonna do a brown stripe here. And we'll do 2 white stitches. Wait, I need to make sure that I am hiding this white. Oh, that only went through half a stitch. There we go. Hiding the white. Now we swap back to the brown. We could still hide the white in that brown stitch, I think. Okay, and now that's actually all that we're going to do for the dark brown. So I'm going to actually finish this off so that I don't even have to worry about it getting tangled up in the yarn anymore, because we're done with that one. There we go. Okay, now we can just tuck that right in there. And where's my brown? Here's my brown. We're just going to do, we're going to do a white here. And then we're going to do another brown. And I don't think I'm going to do an increase this row. I think we might be done with the, no, I do need to do an increase. Okay. Maybe on the next row I can not do an increase. Okay, why is that like that? That should be off of there. There we go. That's better. Okay, and now we have a white stitch, and that was the increase. So we'll have another white stitch, and then let's do another brown stitch right here. And then we'll swap back to the white again. And then I need to finish this brown stitch. So we'll have, wait, which way? White needs to go over top of brown. Okay. finish this brown stitch. And then we're going to do 2 white stitches. And then we can look at the shifting again and we'll see that it has not quite been fixed because I think I'm still 1 stitch, 1 or 2 stitches. Okay, brown, I need you to go away. There we go. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm still 2 stitches. So we're gonna wait until the next row, I think, to try to fix that. Yeah, we're gonna wait a row. So now I need to swap to the tan. Actually, wait. Is there a way I can get this to have those there and have that one there? There we go. Okay. So now we're going to go around and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 1 tan over top of this little brown stitch here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Or maybe, you know, I think we are going to wait until I get around to the other side. Yeah, I think we're going to wait a whole row before we try shifting again. Because it's gonna change too drastically if I tried to do it all right there. And I mean, it's not even that bad right now, actually. I think it'll be okay if we wait another row. Okay, so we are just going to do normal stuff. So we're going to swap over to the white. And we're going to finish off that one. We're going to do 1 white stitch here, maybe. There we go. All right, and now let's see. That one is that 2 rows? Is that 1 row? I think that's only 1 row. So we're going to do 1 more row for this little brown one. That little brown one. Okay, and now we're going to swap back to the white again. And let's see here. So I don't particularly have much space to add any of this row. That's okay. We can add some next row. Yeah, we'll be able to add some next row. That'll be fine. Okay. I'm gonna go there. Actually, I can add one. I can add one right there. If I do the increase right there, I can add one right there. That'll work. Oh, and we have another add. Okay. That is fine. All right, we're gonna do that brown one. Swap over here. We're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do 1 more brown. And we're gonna do it as an increase right here. Actually, I want it to be an increase in this one. There we go. Okay. Do a white stitch. And then that one, yeah, that one needs 1 more brown. 1 more brown. And we have a white. Oh, you know what? Next row. Yeah, next row we're not doing any more increases. No more increases. Next row. Well, we still do increases across the back, but we won't do any more increases across the front. That is how that will go. Did I finish hiding that? Guess I did, because I don't see it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, come on, yarn. Why are we not functioning here? There we go. Alrighty, now we're going to... I'm going to make that one go over there. And have that one go over there as well. And then we can pull this one up and over like that. There we go. I'm trying to keep these ones somewhat separate. I mean, the white and the dark brown are going to get tangled, but because I'm swapping between them so much, it's a little bit easier to get them untangled because I can choose whether I want the white or the brown to go over top of the other. So they're pretty much just twisted together. But if I try to keep, I need to keep the tan one, the lighter brown, separate from the white and the medium brown. And that makes it a whole lot easier because then whenever I'm working with the medium brown, I don't have to, or the light brown. Whenever I'm working with the light brown, I don't have to worry about the white or the medium brown at all. And it's quite nice. Quite nice. Alrighty. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to swap back to the white. The white. Alright, actually, I want to check my shifting. Let's check the shifting. Nope, shifting is doing good. We're pretty much ending right in the same spot, which is fantastic. Okay, so you can kind of see how the dark brown and the white, or the medium brown and the white, are just like all twisted up. So I could pretty much choose, okay, I want to have the white go over top of the dark brown in this case. And that is going to help to detangle it. Because the white is trying to go over top of it. So if I make it so that it goes whatever direction will help, it will help. Okay, and that one is 2 rows. So we're just going to do a white right over top of that one. And I'm not doing any increases this row. All right, so now you can see how the brown is over top of the white. So I'm just going to make it so that that goes over top of the white, right like that, whenever I'm swapping over to it. There we go. And now I can go into, once I find this next stitch, okay, I'm in that one. I need to go into, okay, I need this to kind of come over here though. Okay, I'm in that stitch. I need to go into this stitch. Okay, and now see how the brown is still over top of the white? So we're going to make the brown go over top of the white, and we're slowly just going to untangle these 2 strands here. So we have white, that one is 2, so we're just going to finish that one off, and this one is 1. So once we get to that brown one, we'll swap back to the brown, which is right now. And so I can look at where the yarn is. So now the white is going over top of the brown. So if I have it go over top, and now my white and my brown are completely untangled. Like there's no tangles whatsoever. They're pretty much just with each other, and it's great. So it's easier to untangle those 2, and now they don't even cross at all, than it would be for the light brown. Okay, that one is 2, so I need to finish that one. And we're going to start 1 right here. There's going to be some crossing over, so like now they cross over, but that's because I just swapped to one of them. All right, we're going to go here, and now I could just swap them back, and they're untangled again. So it's not too difficult to keep those ones orderly. It's really just whenever we are swapping. But I think if I go over and around like that, and then I can bring this one, I could bring this one up and over. It'll keep this one on top of those ones. It's easier if the color that you're working with is on the top, because then it'll move easier than if it's underneath everything else. Much easier. Alrighty, and we're still going to do 2 increases across the back here. Once we get a little bit closer to the back. Okay, we're going to do an increase there. And then we'll do an increase here. There we go. There and there. And there. And 3 more. And then I want to check my shifting. My shifting should be good, actually. I don't need to check it right now. Okay, so now we have those. Alrighty. I think we're actually going to yeah, we're going to start decreasing. We're going to start the what's it called? The base. And for the base, I actually don't want any of, what is that? There's a little piece of wood. I don't want any of the dark brown, so I'm actually done with the dark brown. So I'm going to tie this off so that I don't even have to worry about it anymore. That is tied off, so I don't have to worry about medium brown. I just have to worry about my tan and the white. Alrighty, so actually, okay, I'm gonna finish this one and do a couple of stitches here, but then we need to go add the eyeballs on. Otherwise, this bird is gonna have no eyeballs. Yeah, and that will not be great for the bird. Birds need eyeballs. Birds need eyeballs and birds need beaks. Okay. Alright, let's get these little eyeballs on. I kind of like the little ones. I think the little ones kind of fit for this. So we're going to try to figure out where we want these eyeballs. Okay, I think I want this to go right about here. Can I make it go in between this stitch here? Come on, yarn. Because these eyeballs are so small, they technically would fit. If I just tried to poke it like right in between these stitches, they're just going to come out because they're so tiny. So I have to like get it wrapped around like inside, like in between the stitches, like inside of a single stitch, basically. And it's a little bit tricky to get it in between some of those. Because you don't want it to like pull the stitch in weird directions, but you need it to, so something like that maybe. And then if I go to the other side over here, I might be able to get it. Where is that on that side? Okay, what if I go here? And then down through there. Is that too low? That is too low. Okay, let's go up one. Maybe here. Here. Okay, right there, and then make it go into that hole. Something like that, maybe? Does that look? I think that looks okay. Okay, is that one actually in an okay spot? I don't think this one is actually... Oh, no, it is. We're good. I think. Yeah, I think that's okay. Hopefully that's okay. All right. Let's get these little caps on there. There's one cap. And two cap. It's a little bit easier if you do this a little bit earlier on in the project, but, you know, sometimes I forget, and then I just have to do it later, much later on. Okay, is that one going to go through? That is going through. Well, that's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's still attached. It's not going to come unattached, but it might try to pop into the little bird brain. Okay, that's fine. As long as it's not going to come unattached, we're fine. It'll be okay. All right, so now we could just continue around with this. So I need to do a decrease every other stitch with all of those in between stitches just being single stitches. Okay. Come on, yarn. Yarn, yarn, yarn. Yeah, that was a decrease. That was a very weird decrease, but that was in fact a decrease. Okay. My goodness, I could barely see these stitches. Okay, I need to go here. And this one's a single. And this one needs to be a decrease. There we go. And then this one needs to be a single. Okay, I'm not going to worry about trying to grab that tan right there. Okay, single, and then a decrease. Go. And then this one's a single. And this one is a decrease. Which means I need to grab this brown one. Come on, yarn. 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 Work with me. Here we go. Decrease. And then single. And then this one needs to be a decrease. And we need to add in, swap over to the tan. Oh wait, this one needs to be decrease. Decrease. Yeah, here we go. Decrease. Okay. Now we have a single. And then we do a decrease. It's pretty much just doing a decrease every other stitch. That's basically what I'm doing. And I'm going in the sides of the stitches. So we'll make that go out of the way for a second. So all of these sides, I'm pretty much just going into these little V-necks that are here. Oh, come on, camera. Can we focus? So I'm pretty much just going into the side of a stitch. What did I just do? I just did a single. So I'm just going into the side of the stitch. And then that way I'll get this nice little lip that's right here, so that it will stand upright easier. That's the goal. That is the goal. And I'm only going through one loop of these side stitches just because it's a little bit difficult to go through both of them. You can try to go through both of them if you want to. I just found it to be a little bit difficult, and it's easier to go into one of them. It doesn't necessarily matter. I haven't noticed any difference other than it's a lot harder. Yeah, so I don't. That one's a single. This one needs to be a decrease. There we go. And this one's a single. And you only have to do this like for the first decreasing row, because you only need that lip once. Like once you have that lip, you don't need it again. And as long as you do all of your decreasing in like the correct ratios and whatnot, it'll be flat across the bottom. The first one that we made, the first one I made was not very flat across the bottom because I did not do my decreases in the right ratio. So yeah, didn't really work very well, but that's okay. All right, that one was a single, so this one needs to be a decrease. Okay, and now we're back at the beginning, which means that our little lip is going to go all the way around, which is perfect. So now I could pretty much just start crocheting normally again. Wait, I want this to go around this way. There we go. I want this one to come over this way. So now I can just start doing it how I normally would. And I need to pay attention to my decreases. I think I need to do 2 decreases and then a single. So I already did a single, so now I did 2 decreases and a single. Okay, and now I do 2 decreases. And a single. And then we're going to swap back over to the tan. Go. Okay, so that was the single, so now I need to do 2 decreases. 2. Where am I at? Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, now we do a single. And you can also check how flat it is. So like you could see how the project is being pulled. And right now it's definitely being pulled towards being flat across the bottom, which is good. That's exactly what I want to do. Or I want it to do. All right, what was that? That was my single. So this is a decrease. And this is a decrease. And then this is a single. And this is a decrease. And this will be a decrease. And so this one, I'm just going to decrease across the color change. So I did, so in this brown stitch, I grabbed yarn from the brown one, but in this white stitch, I'm going to grab yarn from the white one. And then I can finish this off as a white stitch. And that will work beautifully. Okay. And that was, I think that was the second. I think I need to do mainly decreases now, though. I also need to get some fluff inside of the bird. We're going to do that before this hole gets any smaller. Okay, we're going to get this stuff all the way up to the head first, I think. There we go, into the head. Just like that. little bit too much. Too much. Okay. Just like that. Alright, now... Where's my brown? Okay, brown can go over there. Wait, what's going on here? Oh. There we go. Whoops. Hitting stuff. Alrighty. And now, so that was a decrease. I actually need to do a single here. Let's do another single, I think. We need to swap back to the tan. Whoops. Okay, now we can do a decrease. And another decrease. And another decrease. Okay, yep, now we're going to be doing decreases. I'm actually just going to finish off with the tan. I don't even need to bother with going back to the white again. That will be fine. Some of these stitches are a little bit loose, which is kind of why there's some gaps in them. But that's okay. It's across the bottom, so it'll be fine. Alrighty. There's that one. And then we'll just do one more decrease. There's a decrease. All right, and now we're just going to, I'm going to use both of these together, do a couple of chains, and we'll just snip a clip right like that. And that will be the body of the bird. Okay, and now we can hide this right in there. Okay, and now we can take a look at our colors. I think I definitely like these colors a little bit. Okay, something is very much off with those eyeballs. Oh dear. I might try to fix that off camera. We'll see. That's gonna be complicated. This eyeball needs to be like down here or something. Maybe I just put like a little stitch or something here and make it normal. Oh dear. And I could just make them like lopsided like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll have to try to fix that eyeball at some point. But I definitely like these colors a little bit better. It's definitely a little bit more sparrowy. And since we remembered the spot, which that's like the telltale sign of a song sparrow, is the dark spot on its chest. They have a very dark spot on its chest. They have all of the little spots, but then they have a bigger, darker spot in the middle of the chest, which is what I wanted. So, yeah, I think this probably could have been up a little bit higher, but it's not terrible where it's at. It's not terrible. All right. I think that's where we're going to call it for today, though. Yeah, I will be back. I think I'll be back. Let's see here. Let's see here. What day was it? Yes, Tuesday. I'll be back on Tuesday evening. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will hopefully talk to you guys on Tuesday. Have a wonderful beginning of your week, and enjoy Sunday. Yay! Bye, everyone.